The wrathful deities, unlike the moon, they're like the sun, they're going to burn you up, whether you like it or not. And they're going to burn up all the things that you don't need in your life. So they have more of an aggressive kind of connotation than the peaceful deities. The last thing I wanted to mention here is that this idea of two deities being in union, I get a lot of laughs from the high school groups when I take them here. I guess they just can't handle it. But it has a lot of different meanings, but one of my favorite ones is that these two people coming together, this male and female, it shows the two things that you're trying to bring together in Tantric Buddhism, Tibetan Buddhism, esoteric Buddhism in general. The male, here we simplify it as compassion. They're basically skillful means, being out and about in the world and acting in a skillful way, being compassionate. And then the female here, just like in Greece and many other parts of the world, the female is wisdom. So what we're looking at here is compassion and wisdom embracing each other. In Tibetan Buddhism, you can't just be wise, you can't just be compassionate, you gotta have both. And that's part of what this painting is getting at. On that note, I'm going to pass it back off to Jessie.
Thank you, Evan. Okay, so this piece was chosen by our first guest, Rachel Marco Havens. Rachel, that's okay. Rachel is an incredible woman, incredible person. She's a writer, comedian, artist, activist, a million other things. She's a mother. She's incredible. And the first time I ever met her, it was at a solemn, sad occasion when our friend Allie passed away. It was at her memorial, and we were in a room with people from all different walks of life. Allie's very religious family and all of our wacky friends, just all different people were all feeling very sad. And I had never met her before, but the second she spoke, it was like she was a mother for that entire room of all these people. And I was just like, wow, I want to know her. She's amazing. And her words just helped everyone in that room so much, I know. And I'm just really happy to know her. I think she's awesome. So, Rachel Marco here.
Thank you, Jessie. I was told I was to read a story just a minute ago, and this is a piece I wrote just for you and you. Rinpoche, it has occurred to me that as you age and I age, I will never land in the right spot to participate deeply in practice with you. While I'd like to grow into a serious practitioner, I want children someday. He nodded, looked deep into my eyes, and in English he simply said, "It's okay." 1 month later, I was pregnant with my only son, and now he's pushing 17 years old. And Rinpoche is still alive, and in effect, I could now enter retreat with him as my guide. But the last years have not been spent on preparation for serious practice and retreat. I've been prostrate in the dharma of survival and the nurturing of this boy into manhood. There's no time for study or formal practice. There was no time for sadhana. The sadhana was about singing for supper. It was about picking up drumsticks and stringing guitars. The sadhana was a liturgy of repetitive mantra, mom, 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 mom. My son is unique, he's complicated, he's talented and beautiful. That's what moms do. We brag about our children, and then we tell you, and rather than tell you the truth about how hard it is. But I will. I tell my friends, don't do it. Be the favorite aunt. Faces fall like some of yours might right now. It's just so much easier to listen or pretend to listen to a mom boast about her kid than it is to hear her mourn her sleep, her freedom, her sense of self, her center, her nerves, her money, the calcium in her bones. I'm a truth teller, though. They take it all. Like hungry ghosts suckling until there's no more. Parenting is a long, hard ego trip. Some do it because they want to see a blend of themselves and their partner in action. Some have kids because there's a little void they're trying to fill. And I'm going to let you in on a secret. Becoming a parent does not cure loneliness. Whether it's you out there on an island or you and another on an island, there's nothing more pressing than the loneliness of total parental responsibility. And you won't know it until you feel it, and you won't feel it until it arrives with this magnificent creature whose life you now steward. No one tells you this because misery loves company. And if there weren't an age-old conspiracy between cuteness and lying mothers, the entire human race would cease to exist. And by the way, they all come back and they say, why didn't I listen to you? Because it's a setup. You smell the baby, it's divine. And then you get to hold its tender little soft tiny baby that's just all love. They gaze into your eyes and you're hooked. I mean, the hook goes in, and then mom comes in for the kill. He's the most precious thing that's ever happened to me, and I want 5 more. Or something like that. And when a woman starts on that ramble, run fast and don't touch the baby. Here's the translation. He's the most precious thing that's ever happened to me, and because of that, I'm stuck here in the purgatory of servitude. Do you want to join me? You see, because that's the trap. Of course the baby's the most incredible thing that ever happened to you. You either just squeeze the thing out of a space far too small to pass a head that big, or you endure the removal of all of your guts and the replacement on the table. Of course you're happy to be alive. Then, if you're lucky, the child is absolutely beautiful. And even if it isn't, there's this genetic thing that makes them the most beautiful thing in the world to you because you bore them. That cuteness lasts well into the terrible 2s and horrific 4s, which they don't tell you about. And it reappears in puberty in the form of photographs and memories that magically appear when you most need them. There is so much love for that child when they come into your life. There's no turning back. You are in it for good. That love and adoration you feel for your child is the trap. The immense responsibility that consumes a mother comes with complete powerlessness. Long nights awake with their fevers and the dread that comes when you don't know where they are at 11 o'clock. Holding your son by the roadside after he's hit by a car, wailing, I don't want to die, Mom! Powerless to even the knowing that those wails denote how really okay he is. Powerless to know whether you're doing it right or wrong. Luckily, your son's shoes were untied, ma'am, allowing him to be flung rather than run over. How many times have I told him to tie his shoes? Everything you once were becomes theirs, and you give because there's no one else you would ever give that much to, not even yourself. In it for life. You cannot give them back, and you won't ever want to for more than about 3 seconds at a time. There is too much to do in the day to waste a second on blame or resentment or the choice of having become a mother. Sure, you'll question what made you think you could do it all day, every day, but this is a choice that is marked indelibly by compassion and love and service, and one need not don monastic robes to be a serious practitioner. The Mahayana path is about transformation. When you give your heart, your body, your mind, and action to the generation of life, you are thrust into the practice of meditation and action. Suddenly, you're called to create something from nothing, whether it's food on the table from a few seeds or the energy to push that swing after a night awake with the crew. In it for life, there's no out, and you don't want one because now you're responsible to stay alive for the benefit of someone else. There are so many damn good reasons I tell my friends to be the favorite aunt, and you won't really know why until you don't take my advice. Once deep into the work of motherhood, you begin to recognize how much strain humans put on Mother Earth. Why we call her mother and why some of us question how long she's got to live, like sons and daughters at her bedside holding breath and checking watches. How long she got, Doc? Stick with me, a mother's work is never done. I'm almost finished. As a mother, you are a nurturer, provider, pacifier, teacher, lover, healer, giver, 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 giver. Everything you do is for your children. Sacrificing your own needs becomes first nature, and your own sustainability is usually for the benefit of them. Because if you were gone, how would they survive? Everything about their safe and comfortable survival rests on your shoulders. So very much of you, mother, is taken for granted, squandered, and used in excess till there's no more. As young children, they don't know they're exhausting their resources. They have no idea. It's innocent need. As they get older, their footprint gets bigger, their expectations heavier, their consumption of everything is greater. More food, more stuff, more complaints, less thanks. And you still can't leave them alone. By now they know they should clean up their rooms. How? And they still don't. Teenagers are the ultimate almost adult. They know better what they consume, and with the innocence behind them, they seem to want more and have even less regard. They move fast through their realities, never stopping long enough to see the exhaustion in their mother's eyes, not noticing that she's aged and it takes a little longer to deliver on the demands. By the time they grow up, mom's exhausted and she's getting angry now. Mother Earth is rumbling, parched and exploding with wrath. Shall we see it as anger, fear it and hide, or recognize that anger is closer to thriving than depression? Listen to her call and soothe her up the scale. The human race is well into the teenage years and we had better grow up. We're exhausting our mother, and if we don't choose to become adults pretty quick, we can take credit for breaking the vessel that so generously holds us. Our legacy will be her ruin. I chose this image for a reason. As brothers and sisters, we have to grow up. Stop being selfish brats and come together. Mother Earth is tired. Women are stepping up to take a stronger role in the stewardship of our collective commons, and while it's time, this is not about a power shift. Our efforts must be unified in the stewardship of her long life. Man need not fear us as we take our positions, and women must recognize that this has been a collective mistreatment of our mother. Forget the shame and blame. It's time to get to work, balancing our collective wisdom and skillful means.
One thing I was going to add about Rachel is that she has an incredible gift of talking about very heavy and profound things with a sense of humor, and that leaves you feeling like everything's going to be all right. So thank you.